Make Britannia theirs, or die in the attempt. Britannia, a land of Emerald Isles, a land of kings, a land of war. England. King Henry sits upon a hungry throne, thirsty for more land. The Norwegians, warriors happy to pay the blood price for their ambitions. Scotland. From the Highlands and across the Lowlands comes a spirited people ready for battle. Wales, a people of song and sword, and leaders that will bend their knees to no man. And Ireland. Suspicious of his neighbors, the Irish warrior never sleeps, though he dreams of conquest. Britannia. One realm, 5 kings, total war.
Use this scroll to construct buildings, recruit troops, and govern your settlement. More detailed statistics and trade details can be viewed by clicking the Show Settlement Details button at the bottom of the scroll. Click Click the Show Me How button to learn how to use the settlement scroll. Left-click on a building to add it to the construction queue, and again to remove it. Drag and drop buildings to change their position in the queue. Right-click on a building to find out more about it. You can only manage the construction of your settlement if a governor is present. Click the Show Me How button to learn about construction. If you are unsure of what to build next, click My Portrait on the bottom of this scroll for a construction suggestion. For a recruitment suggestion, click My Portrait when the Recruitment tab is selected. Left-click on a unit to add it to your recruitment queue. The number of units you can recruit each turn depends on the size of your settlement. Right-click on a unit to learn more about it. Click the Show Me How button to learn about recruitment. The number on the top right of the unit cards shows how many of those units are available to recruit. The rate that units become available for hire depends on the buildings in your settlement. Troops are trained in different buildings at various rates and made available to recruit in your settlement. You can move your diplomat by right-clicking on any part of the highlighted area. Right-click on a character, army or settlement belonging to a rival faction to start the diplomatic process. You have selected a target outside the green highlighted area. This means your character cannot reach his target this turn. Provided that an enemy does not block his path, your character will continue on his journey next turn.
Tomorrow's journey planned out, sire.
You can also recruit agents to serve your kingdom here. You can only recruit a limited number of some agents, and you must improve your buildings to recruit more. Once trained, your agents can undertake special missions. Review the state of your faction's finances here. Left-click on the boxes that slide down the left of the screen to view important messages. Right-click to dismiss them. Messages include financial reports, family announcements, missions, and declarations of war. Merchants can be used to trade resources and make acquisitions. Hold your cursor over a resource to show its value, and move your merchant onto it to commence trading.
Journeying onward. Opening a new trade lane, my liege.
This scroll enables you to view the state of diplomatic relations between each faction at a glance. Use this scroll to aid you in making and breaking alliances during your campaign.
Begone! You are not my liege.
The icons under your settlement show the income, loyalty, and growth of the settlement. Icons will also appear if the settlement is close to rioting, under siege, or has the plague. Move your mouse over the icons for more information.
By your will, sire, we shall engage. We shall continue tomorrow, my liege.
Orders, my lord.
Leaving a settlement without a garrison invites invasion and insurrection. Move in some troops to keep rivals at bay and maintain public order.
Sire.
This
Yes.
scroll shows you the details of a general in your faction. Right-click to move your fleet to any part of the highlighted area. Move the fleet to a coastal square to disembark the passengers. Right-click on an enemy fleet to engage in naval combat.
Sire, we should disengage. The enemy shows no mercy.
Double-click on a settlement to construct buildings, recruit units, and manage the settlement. This scroll details your performance throughout the turn, including military actions, finances, and your empire's progress. You can review this and more information at any time on the Overview panel. Click Show Me How to see how to access the Overview panel. This settlement is a castle. Your castles will be your unit production centres. Castles produce little income, but the population is easier to keep content than in cities. Castles and cities differ in the buildings you can construct and the units you can recruit. You will need a balance of castles and cities to ensure you can support your troops. Press the spacebar to toggle the movement speed of characters and armies on the campaign map. Use backspace to stop a character moving.
With honor, sire. Making camp here, noble sire. Man your posts! The enemy fleet is upon us!
This scroll shows the outcome of the battle and some basic statistics. It is a new turn and season in your campaign. Your treasury has been updated, your armies and characters have rested, and your rivals have made their moves. It is now your turn to make your next moves to carry out your strategy. Right-click to move your army to any part of the highlighted area.
Glory,
Attack by
honor,
right-clicking on a rival's army
victory.
or settlement.
God
Merge with a
be
friendly
praised.
army or board a
He has
fleet by
granted us
moving onto it.
victory. As you command, my liege. By God's will, we have triumphed! By your
If you
will,
want
sire,
help using
we
a scroll
shall
at any
engage.
time, then click the
Lay
question
siege,
mark on the
noble
top
sire.
right of the scroll.
We shall prevail in this siege, sire.
Orders.
You can obtain better quality weapons and armour for your men by constructing a blacksmith's, armourer's or foundry in this settlement. Once complete, These buildings provide superior equipment for all new units trained here. You can click on my portrait to dismiss a piece of advice or replay the last piece of advice. The buttons next to my portrait allow you to change the advice settings, zoom to a location on the map, and show you how to do something. There are more advice options on the Game Options scroll. You will need to recruit units to defend your position and expand your army. To recruit units, double-click on a settlement and select the Recruitment tab.
My lord. As you wish.
No, fool. Send your emissary to me.
At your service.
As you command. On my way. I'll continue once I have rested, sire.
Orders.
When attacking a settlement, you must either have siege artillery in your army or construct siege equipment on the battlefield. Equipment that is unsuitable for use on a settlement's defences is greyed out. The time taken to build is displayed beneath each item. Click the Show Me How button to learn how to build siege equipment.
We shall prevail in this siege, sire.
You have an outstanding mission and time is running out. To check the details of your mission, click the button with an envelope at the bottom of the screen. Click Show Me How to see how to access the mission scroll. From time to time, you will receive special missions from the Pope, your Council of Nobles, Guilds, and other factions. You can review the details of your current missions here, including goals, time left, and associated rewards and penalties. If you move a general into a settlement, he becomes the governor. Generals with high piety, chivalry, or dread make better governors. In the absence of a general, your settlement will be automatically managed.
I will only address you in battle.
Maintaining
your
a
will,
siege on
sire,
a settlement
we shall
will eventually
engage.
starve out the enemy. However, in this time, the enemy might summon reinforcements.
Muster your courage, men! We march into battle! Brave soldiers, it may be time to die. It is time to fight, but it is definitely time for victory!
Your siege equipment is automatically attached to one of your infantry units. Units with siege equipment are marked with an icon representing the siege equipment they are manning on their unit card. If you wish to have troops drop the siege equipment, click on the Drop Siege Equipment icon. To have another unit pick up a piece of spare equipment, select the unit and right-click on the equipment when the cursor changes to a hand. Left-click on Show Me How for details of your objectives, as well as the use of battering rams, ladders, and towers.
Units, march! Siege tower!
You can change the facing, width, and length of your units by using the mouse. Select the units you wish to change, then hold down the right mouse button and move the mouse to change their position, formation, and facing. When you release the right mouse button, they will carry out your orders.
Capture the walls! General's bodyguard, heavy cavalry, ladders, archers, catapults, archers, men. Units, march! Catapults! 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 Men! Units, march! Seize tower! Capture the wall! Spearmen!
Our siege towers have reached the walls. Now the butcher's work begins.
Siege tower!
You have pressed the Special Unit Abilities button for the first time. This activates any special formations or abilities of the selected unit. As you select different units, you will see the button change. If the selected unit does not have a special ability, the button will become a red circle with a line through it.
The gates are down! Our soldiers have proved their worth today. The enemy's walls belong to us now.
Possible to set arrows alight to rain fire and death down upon the enemy. Flaming arrows have reduced accuracy, but are more devastating when they land and have a greater effect on morale. Left-click the Show Me How button to see how to do this. If your infantry are about to be charged by cavalry, make sure they are stationary. That way they can brace themselves against the impact and will take fewer losses. Left-click the Show Me How button to zoom to your unit. is possible to set artillery ammunition alight to rain fire and death down upon the enemy. Flaming ammunition has reduced accuracy, but is more devastating when it lands, and has a greater effect on morale. Left-click the Show Me How button to see how to do this.
The battle is very much in our favor. If we remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours.
When under fire from enemy artillery, you will suffer fewer casualties if you put your men into loose formation. Left-click on Show Me How to see how to change formation. Once your men are in combat, you can make them break off by double right-clicking on a point behind them. This can be a useful trick if your men are faster than the enemy. When using this tactic, however, it is inevitable that you will lose a few men.
The enemy army flees the field. Pursue and run them down.
The foolish enemy are facing away from your missile troops. Without their shields for protection, they're a great target. Cavalry charge, they cause extra casualties due to the momentum of their attack. A cycle of charge, withdraw, charge causes maximum casualties for minimum losses. Repeat until done. Spearmen are the best troops for defeating cavalry. Left-click the Show Me How button to zoom to your unit. Flaming arrows against wavering enemy troops. You will kill fewer, as archers cannot fire flaming arrows as quickly. But fear of the flames may cause the enemy to turn and flee.
This is a clear victory that goes to only men of great virtue and valor.
Ah!
Glory, honor, victory! Victory,
When you
my
capture
liege.
a settlement,
A
you have the
most
option to
noble
occupy,
conquest.
sack, or exterminate. Occupying a settlement brings it under your rule peacefully, but the people might rebel against you. Sacking allows your troops to loot and pillage, which gives an order and cash bonus, but buildings are damaged and people are killed. Exterminating kills most of the population and reduces the level of the buildings, but brings the population under your control. If there is no permanent governor in a settlement, it's a good idea to queue the buildings that you want to construct when you have the opportunity. When a general moves into your settlement, you can select the buildings you want to build, and your construction orders will continue to be carried out even after the general has moved on.
Sire. Orders. Sire. Orders.
At your service.
Journeying onward. Opening a new trade lane, my liege.